your detective skills to the test. Let's learn how to play the key Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land. Welcome to How to Play by We Play to Learn. I'm Briggs. Today we'll learn a super fun game, the key Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land. Make sure to stay to the end. We'll share some tips that help kids and some parents play this game. If you're new here, we love teaching fun family games, so hit the subscribe button to get notified when new videos are released. First, let's learn a little more about the game. This is a game for 1 to 4 players that takes 15 to 25 minutes to play. It's probably best for ages 9 and older, and it can help build deductive reasoning skills. Young kids would have a hard time with this game. We only rated it a 2 out of 10 for them, but it's a great game for older kids, adults, and together as a family, so we give it a 9 for all those ages. You can find even more details in our full review at WePlayToLearn.com, linked in the description below. But right now, let's find out how to play. The key may look like it has a lot of parts, but its setup is pretty simple. Give each player a yellow investigation file, dry erase marker, and a briefcase screen. The briefcase screens fold flat for storage, so you'll need to assemble them like this. It seems to work best if the outside flaps go under the center part. Then shuffle all the cards and spread them around the middle of the table where everyone can reach them. Make sure the back of the card showing the colored squares is up. As a group, select one of the 9 different colored keys and place it in the middle of the table. The color of the key shows which version of the case you'll be solving. Note that while each version of the case only has one correct solution, you will be able to keep playing the game after you've used all 9 keys. Just pick a key color that nobody has played for a while. You'll see that it would be almost impossible for a person to remember the solution for a specific color if they didn't recently play it. Last, place the mirror card in the middle of the table as well. There are actually multiple games available in the Key series, each with the same basic gameplay but different types of clues and difficulty levels. In Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land, players will compete to help solve a series of sabotage incidents at the Lucky Llama Land theme park. The day of each incident, as well as the perpetrator, tool used, and crime scene are all known. You'll see all of these shown on the bottom of the briefcase screen. But what is not known is this: which perpetrator used which tool on which crime scene and on which day. Your job is to use the available clues to match these up correctly. The detective that does this most efficiently wins the game. There are no turns in the key. All players will play at the same time and at their own pace. To start, just take a clue from the middle playing area. But there are a few things you'll need to know before choosing which clues to take. First, only take clues that have a square on the back that matches the color of the key for this game. Any clue that does not have that color will give you incorrect information. Second, each clue has 2 icons on the back that show which elements of the crime it will help you solve. You can use these to help find clues for the elements you're still missing, or to make sure you don't get clues for things you've already solved. Third, the red number at the top of each clue card shows how many investigative points that clue is worth. Clues with more points will give you more information, but you win the game by solving the case using the fewest investigative points. Now, 2 more very important things about clue cards. Once you take a clue, it never goes back into the middle. You will keep it until the end of the game. And don't let other players see the front side of the clue card. So, what can you expect to see on the front of the clue cards? Remember, you need to determine the correct suspect, tool, and ride for each of the 3 days. The clues will give you the information needed to tie these things together. And using your dry erase marker, you will write directly in your briefcase to record this. Let's look at some examples of how this works. Some clues will be straightforward, like this one. It lets you cross off the night for May 5th, but you still don't know which is the correct tool without other clues. The next clue does give us a direct connection between 2 elements, Olivia and the bumper cars, but without knowing the day this happened on, we can't mark it off in the briefcase yet. Other witness statements will require you to look at the top of your briefcase for suspect's height, or in your investigation file for more information. In the file, you will see the age and shoe print for each suspect, as well as the length and weight for each tool. The show schedule is used with some of the 4-point lab cards and will tie a suspect to a specific day. The clue card will have parts of 3 show tickets. Using the schedule, you will find the one day that includes all 3 of those shows. The back page of the file is a map of the park and is used with a couple different types of clues. Some will have you checking shops around the park, like this one. Looking at the food shop symbols, we can see the ice cream shop is next to one of the Sabotage rides, so we can cross it off for that day. The other type of clue that uses the map will have a photo, like this one. You'll see there is a camera icon next to each of the Sabotage rides. Figure out from which of these 3 spots the picture must have been taken to give you that photo, and you will connect a tool with a ride. The last of the clues, the shoe prints, seem to be the most confusing. This is because while only one of the prints on the card matches those shown in the investigation file, at first glance it will look like they all do. But keep looking, most of the differences are very subtle and can be hard to find. Also, don't forget to use the mirror card when looking at the shoe prints, or they will all look backwards. We found it easiest to place the mirror on the table and hold the clue card above it like this. And make sure you remove the protective film from the mirror card the first time you play, or the prints will be blurry and even harder to use. And that's how you'll use the clue cards. As soon as you finish with one clue, you can grab another. You don't have to wait for the other players. Keep working through clues like this until you've eliminated all but one perpetrator, tool, and location for each day. Then you will use the panel on the left side of the briefcase to figure out the 3-digit solution code for this case. For each of the elements in the case, match the order of your solution to find the corresponding number on the briefcase. For example, if the perpetrator solution order was Olivia, Gonzo, Jennifer, use the number 3 for that element. Do this for all 3 elements to find the 3-digit code and then write it down in your briefcase, but don't announce the code to the table. If you are the first player to get your code, take the key from the middle, but the other players should keep going with their investigations. Remember, the winner of the game isn't the player that solves the case the fastest, but the player that solves it most efficiently. Once all players have finished, then everyone will announce their 3-digit code to the table. The player with the key then takes the solution board and looks for a lock that matches the number they came up with. If they don't find one, they went wrong somewhere and can't win. A player with a different number code should then check the solution board for their code. Once a match is found, insert the key in the hole next to the lock and hold it there while turning the solution board over. If the lock on the back does not match the color of the key, the code is wrong and another player should try theirs. If they do match, you've correctly solved the case. But that player is not automatically the winner. If more than one player had the correct code, you have to find which detective was the most efficient. This is where the investigative points on your clue cards come in. First, if the player who took the key had the correct code, they get to discard one of their lowest value cards at this time as a small reward for being the fastest. Then, all players that had the right code will add up the investigative points on their clue cards. The player with the fewest total points wins the game and is the master detective. At the start of the video, we promised to share some tips that help include kids in this game. First, separate your clue cards into 2 piles as you play. One pile should be clues you've already marked off, while the others for clues you can't mark off until you get more information. You have a lot of clue cards by the end, so this will help keep it organized. Second, write down notes for connections that cannot be marked off immediately. For example, if you find the tool a suspect used but don't know the day, you won't be able to mark it off on the bottom of the briefcase yet. When this happens, we will make a note of this either on the top of the briefcase or on a separate piece of paper. If you want to see this game in action, watch our Let's Play video where our family plays through a whole game. That video is linked here and in the description below. And that's how you play the key, Sabotage at Lucky Llama Land. Don't forget, you can find our full reviews at WePlayToLearn.com or watch another of our How to Play videos here. We'll see you next time on How to Play by WePlayToLearn. Bye!